Rune 50 of the Kalevala. The Kalevala, compiled by Elias Lönnrot, translated by John Martin Crawford. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Rune 50, Mariatta, Wainamoinen's departure. Mariatta, child of beauty, grew to maidenhood in Northland, in the cabin of her father, in the chambers of her mother, golden ringlets, silver girdles, worn against the keys paternal, glittering upon her bosom. Wore away the father's threshold with the long robes of her garments, wore away the painted rafters with her beauteous silken ribbons, wore away the gilded pillars with the touching of her fingers, wore away the birchen flooring with the tramping of her fur shoes. Mariatta, child of beauty, magic maid of little stature, guarded well her sacred virtue, her sincerity and honor, fed upon the dainty whiting, on the inner bark of birchwood, on the tender flesh of lambkins. When she hastened in the evening to her milking in the hurdles, spake in innocence as follows: "Never will the snow-white virgin milk the kine of one unworthy." When she journeyed over snowfields, on the seat beside her father, spake in purity as follows: "Not behind a steed unworthy will I ever ride the snow sleigh." Mariatta, child of beauty, lived a virgin with her mother, as a maiden highly honored, lived in innocence and beauty, daily drove her flocks to pasture, walking with the gentle lambkins. When the lambkins climbed the mountains, when they gamboled on the hilltops, stepped the virgin to the meadow, skipping through a grove of lindens, at the calling of the cuckoo, to the songster's golden measures. Mariatta, child of beauty, looked about, intently listened, sat upon the berry meadow, sat a while and meditated, on a hillock by the forest, and soliloquized as follows: "Call to me, thou golden cuckoo, sing, thou sacred bird of Northland, sing, thou silver-breasted songster, speak, thou strawberry of Estland, tell how long must I unmarried, as a shepherdess neglected, wander o'er these hills and mountains, through these flowery fens and fallows? Tell me, cuckoo of the woodlands, sing to me how many summers I must live without a husband, as a shepherdess neglected." Mariatta, child of beauty, lived a shepherd maid for ages, as a virgin with her mother. Wretched are the lives of shepherds, lives of maidens still more wretched, guarding flocks upon the mountains. Serpents creep in bog and stumble, on the greensward dart the lizards, but it was no serpent singing, nor a sacred lizard calling, it was but the mountain berry calling to the lonely maiden. "Come, O virgin, come and pluck me, come and take me to thy bosom, take me tinsel-breasted virgin, take me maiden copper-belted, ere the slimy snail devours me, ere the blackworm feeds upon me. Hundreds pass my way unmindful, thousands come within my hearing, berry maidens swarm about me, children come in countless numbers, none of these has come to gather, come to pluck this ruddy berry." Mariatta, child of beauty, listened to the gentle pleading, ran to pick the berry calling, with her fair and dainty fingers, saw it smiling near the meadow, like a cranberry in feature, like a strawberry in flavor, but virgin Mariatta could not pluck the woodland stranger. Thereupon she cut a charm stick, downward pressed upon the berry, when it rose as if by magic, rose above her shoes of ermine, then above her copper girdle, darted upward to her bosom, leaped upon the maiden's shoulders, on her dimpled chin it rested, on her lips it perched a moment, hastened to her tongue expectant, to and fro it rocked and lingered, thence it hastened on its journey, settled in the maiden's bosom. Mariatta, child of beauty, thus became a bride impregnant, wedded to the mountain berry, lingered in her room at morning, sat at midday in the darkness, hastened to her couch at evening, thus the watchful mother wonders: "What has happened to our Mary, to our virgin Mariatta, that she throws aside her girdle, shyly slips through hall and chamber, lingers in her room at morning, hastens to her couch at evening, sits at midday in the darkness?" On the floor a babe was playing, and the young child thus made answer: "This has happened to our Mary, to our virgin Mariatta, this misfortune to the maiden, she has lingered by the meadows, played too long among the lambkins, tasted of the mountain berry." Long the virgin watched and waited, anxiously the days she counted, waited for the dawn of trouble. Finally she asked her mother these the words of Mariatta: "Faithful mother, fond and tender, mother whom I love and cherish, make for me a place befitting, where my troubles may be lessened, and my heavy burdens lightened." This the answer of the mother: "Woe to thee, thou Hisi maiden, since thou art a bride unworthy, wedded only to dishonor." Mariatta, child of beauty, thus replied in truthful measures: "I am not a maid of Hisi, I am not a bride unworthy, am not wedded to dishonor. As a shepherdess I wandered with the lambkins to the glenwood, wandered to the berry mountain, where the strawberry had ripened. Quick as thought I plucked the berry, on my tongue I gently laid it, to and fro it rocked and lingered, settled in my heaving bosom. This the source of all my trouble, only cause of my dishonor." As the mother was relentless, asked the maiden of her father, this the virgin mother's pleading: "O my father, full of pity, source of both my good and evil, build for me a place befitting, where my troubles may be lessened, and my heavy burdens lightened." This the answer of the father unforgiving: "Go thou evil child of Hisi, go thou child of sin and sorrow, wedded only to dishonor, to the Great Bear's rocky chamber, to the stone cave of the Growler, there to lessen all thy troubles, there to cast thy heavy burdens." Mariatta, child of beauty, thus made answer to her father: "I am not a child of Hisi, I am not a bride unworthy, am not wedded to dishonor. I shall bear a noble hero, I shall bear a son immortal, who will rule among the mighty, rule the ancient Wainamoinen." Thereupon the virgin mother wandered hither, wandered thither, seeking for a place befitting, seeking for a worthy birthplace, for her unborn son and hero. Finally these words she uttered: "Piltti, thou my youngest maiden, trustiest of all my servants, seek a place within the village, ask it of the brook of Sara, for the troubled Mariatta, child of sorrow and misfortune." Thereupon the little maiden, Piltti, spake these words in answer: "Whom shall I entreat for succor, who will lend me his assistance?" These the words of Mariatta: "Go and ask it of Ruotus, where the reed brook pours her waters." Thereupon the servant Piltti, ever hopeful, ever willing, hastened to obey her mistress, needing not her exhortation, hastened like the rapid river, like the flying smoke of battle, to the cabin of Ruotus. When she walked the hilltops tottered, when she ran the mountains trembled, shore reeds danced upon the pasture, sandstones skipped about the heather, as the maiden Piltti hastened to the dwelling of Ruotus. At his table in his cabin sat Ruotus eating, drinking, in his simple coat of linen. With his elbows on the table, spake the wizard in amazement: "Why hast thou, a maid of evil, come to see me in my cavern? What the message thou art bringing?" Thereupon the servant Piltti gave this answer to the wizard: "Seek I for a spot befitting, seek I for a worthy birthplace, for an unborn child and hero, seek it near the Sara streamlet, where the reed brook pours her waters." Came the wife of old Ruotus, walking with her arms akimbo, thus addressed the maiden Piltti: "Who is she that asks assistance, who the maiden thus dishonored, what her name and who her kindred?" "I have come for Mariatta, for the worthy virgin mother," spake the wife of old Ruotus, evil-minded, cruel-hearted. "Occupied are all our chambers, all our bathrooms near the reed brook, in the mount of fire our couches, is a stable in the forest, for the flaming horse of Hisi, in the stable is a manger, fitting birthplace for the hero, from the wife of cold misfortune, worthy couch for Mariatta." Thereupon the servant Piltti hastened to her anxious mistress, spake these measures much regretting: "There is not a place befitting, on the silver brook of Sara," spake the wife of old Ruotus. "Occupied are all the chambers, all the bathrooms near the reed brook, in the mount of fire our couches, is a stable in the forest, for the flaming horse of Hisi, in the stable is a manger, fitting birthplace for the hero, from the wife of cold misfortune, worthy couch for Mariatta." Thereupon the hapless maiden, Mariatta, virgin mother, fell to bitter tears and murmurs, spake these words in depths of sorrow: "I, alas, must go an outcast, wander as a wretched hireling, like a servant in dishonor, hasten to the burning mountain, to the stable in the forest, make my bed within a manger, near the flaming steed of Hisi." Quick the hapless virgin mother, outcast from her father's dwelling, gathered up her flowing raiment, grasped a broom of birchen branches, hastened forth in pain and sorrow, to the stable in the woodlands, on the heights of Tapio's mountains, spake these words in supplication: "Come, I pray thee, my creator, only friend in times of trouble, come to me and bring protection to thy child, the virgin mother, to the maiden Mariatta, in this hour of sore affliction. Come to me, benignant Ukko, come thou only hope and refuge, lest thy guiltless child should perish, die the death of the unworthy." When the virgin Mariatta had arrived within the stable of the flaming horse of Hisi, she addressed the steed as follows: Breathe, O sympathizing fire horse, breathe on me, the virgin mother, let thy heated breath give moisture, let thy pleasant warmth surround me, like the vapor of the morning, let this pure and helpless maiden find a refuge in thy manger. Thereupon the horse in pity breathed the moisture in his nostril on the body of the virgin, wrapped her in a cloud of vapor, gave her warmth and needed comforts, gave his aid to the afflicted, to the virgin Mariatta. There the babe was born and cradled, cradled in a woodland manger of the virgin Mariatta, pure as pearly dews of morning, holy as the stars in heaven. There the mother rocks her infant, in his swaddling clothes she wraps him, lays him in her robes of linen. Carefully the babe she nurtures, well she guards her much beloved, guards her golden child of beauty, her beloved gem of silver. But alas, the child has vanished, vanished while the mother slumbered. Mariatta, lone and wretched, fell to weeping broken hearted, hastened off to seek her infant everywhere. The mother sought him, sought her golden child of beauty, her beloved gem of silver. Sought him underneath the millstone, in the sleigh she sought him vainly, underneath the sieve she sought him, underneath the willow basket. Touched the trees, the grass she parted, long she sought her golden infant, sought him on the fir tree mountain, in the vale and hill and heather, looks within the clumps of flowers, well examines every thicket, lifts the juniper and willow, lifts the branches of the alder. Lo, a star has come to meet her, and the star she thus beseeches: "O thou guiding star of Northland, star of hope by God created, dost thou know and wilt thou tell me where my darling child has wandered, where my holy babe lies hidden?" Thus the star of Northland answers: "If I knew I would not tell thee, 'tis thy child that me created, set me here to watch at evening, in the cold to shine forever, here to twinkle in the darkness." Comes the golden moon to meet her, and the moon she thus beseeches: "Golden moon, by Ukko fashioned, hope and joy of Kalevala, dost thou know and wilt thou tell me where my darling child has wandered, where my holy babe lies hidden?" Speaks the golden moon in answer: "If I knew I would not tell thee, 'tis thy child that me created, here to wander in the darkness, all alone at eve to wander, on my cold and cheerless journey, sleeping only in the daylight, shining for the good of others." Thereupon the virgin mother falls again to bitter weeping, hastens on through fen and forest, seeking for her babe departed. Comes the silver sun to meet her, and the sun she thus addresses: "Silver sun by Ukko fashioned, source of light and life of Northland, dost thou know and wilt thou tell me where my darling child has wandered, where my holy babe lies hidden?" Wisely does the sun make answer: "Well I know thy babe's dominions, where thy holy child is sleeping, where Wainola's light lies hidden. 'Tis thy child that me created, made me king of earth and ether, made the moon and stars attend me, set me here to shine at midday, makes me shine in silver raiment, lets me sleep and rest at evening. Yonder is thy golden infant, there thy holy babe lies sleeping, hidden to his belt in waters, hidden in the reeds and rushes." Mariatta, child of beauty, virgin mother of the Northland, straightway seeks her babe in swampland, finds him in the reeds and rushes, takes the young child on her bosom to the dwelling of her father. There the infant grew in beauty, gathered strength and light and wisdom, all of Suomi saw and wondered. No one knew what name to give him. When the mother named him Flower, others named him Son of Sorrow. When the virgin Mariatta sought the priesthood to baptize him, came an old man, Vuorokanas, with a cup of holy water, bringing to the babe his blessing, and the graybeard spake as follows: "I shall not baptize a wizard, shall not bless a black magician with the drops of holy water. Let the young child be examined, let us know that he is worthy, lest he prove the son of witchcraft." Thereupon old Vuorokanas called the ancient Wainamoinen, the eternal wisdom singer, to inspect the infant wonder, to report him good or evil. Wainamoinen, old and faithful, carefully the child examined, gave this answer to his people: "Since the child is but an outcast, born and cradled in a manger, since the berry is his father, let him lie upon the heather, let him sleep among the rushes, let him live upon the mountains. Take the young child to the marshes, dash his head against the birch tree." Then the child of Mariatta, only 2 weeks old, made answer: "O thou ancient Wainamoinen, son of folly and injustice, senseless hero of the Northland, falsely hast thou rendered judgment. In thy years, for greater follies, greater sins and misdemeanors, thou wert not unjustly punished in thy former years of trouble, when thou gavest thine own brother for thy selfish life a ransom, thus to save thee from destruction, then thou wert not sent to swampland to be murdered for thy follies. In thy former years of sorrow, when the beauteous Aino perished in the deep and boundless blue sea to escape thy persecutions, then thou wert not evil treated, wert not banished by thy people. Thereupon old Wirokenas of the wilderness the ruler touched the child with holy water, gave the wonder babe his blessing, gave him rights of royal heirship, free to live and grow a hero, to become a mighty ruler, king and master of Kalevala. As the years passed, Wainamoinen recognized his waning powers, empty-handed, heavy-hearted, sang his farewell song to Northland, to the people of Wainola. Sang himself a boat of copper, beautiful his bark of magic. At the helm sat the magician, sat the ancient wisdom singer. Westward, westward sailed the hero, over the blue back of the waters, singing as he left Wainola, this his plaintive song and echo. Suns may rise and set in Suomi, rise and set for generations, when the North will learn my teachings, will recall my wisdom sayings, hungry for the true religion. Then will Suomi need my coming, watch for me at dawn of morning, that I may bring back the Sampo, bring anew the harp of joyance, bring again the golden moonlight, bring again the silver sunshine, peace and plenty to the Northland. Thus the ancient Wainamoinen in his copper-banded vessel left his tribe in Kalevala, sailing o'er the rolling billows, sailing through the azure vapors, sailing through the dusk of evening, sailing to the fiery sunset, to the higher landed regions, to the lower verge of heaven, quickly gained the far horizon, gained the purple-colored harbor. There his bark he firmly anchored, rested in his boat of copper, but he left his harp of magic, left his songs and wisdom sayings, to the lasting joy of Suomi. End of Rune 50. Recording by Kyle Robb.